Alright, so in that first video we talked about a few things. And the first was the class and how it should have a name that basically tells whatever this file is going to be doing. And remember, we started off, we were just printing out hello world, so we called it hello world. Alright, if we were adding numbers, we would say adding numbers. Alright, but the main thing to take away is whatever you call your class here, it has to have the exact same name as your file name. Alright, now it doesn't have to have the .java. Don't put .java in there because that's just the extension to let the computer know that it's a Java file. And if you put .java down there, it won't work. Alright, if you change a case, and I think I said this in the first video, so if I change this first case, h to a lowercase h, you can see immediately it's got a red underline letting you know something's wrong. Alright, but I'm going to run it anyways. And it tells me that there's an error and do I want to proceed with the launch, and I'm going to say yes because I want you to see down here it says error, could not find or load main class hello world with a capital H. Alright, because it's looking at the file and it sees what the file's name is, and now it's looking for that same name inside the file. And it tells you wrong name, and this is what it should be right here. So if I Control C for copy, go up here and paste it, Control V, you can see the underline goes away, and if I run it now, it should work. Alright, so that's very important and something that you need to remember. Alright, so you don't run into errors later on down the road. Of course, another common error is you wind up with too many open and closed curly brackets. And that happens. Alright, so you got to make sure that you get your curly bracket for your class, your curly bracket for your main function, and then of course, as I said, as we get farther into programming, you'll have curly brackets on condition statements and loops and things like that. And that'll be a few videos down the road. Alright, the second thing that we talked about was the main function. And you have to have a main function in every file. You can have other functions in here, alright, which would go down below this right here. So I could have another function down here and call it into my main function if I wanted to. And like I say, I don't want to confuse you too much, and we will be getting into that a little bit later. But the main thing that you need to have is a main function. And it has to be exactly like this. So if I change this, and I'm just going to change this M to an uppercase M. Of course, I don't get an underline. Alright, but when I try to run it, it throws me an error down here, and it says main method not found in class hello world. Please define the main method as, and it tells you exactly what should go there. So once again, I can take that and copy it, Control C, and paste it, Control V, and once again, don't forget you got to have an open and close curly bracket. So if you paste too far and you actually accidentally delete that one, you're going to have issues. All right, and then we'll run it again, and it all should work. All right, so when you're coding, I always start with hello world if I'm going to be building something. Because if you can get hello world, or you can get your stuff to print out down here, then you know at least your class and your main function's good. Alright, so then you start with hello world, and we did some print and print lines. And like I say, mess around with that. You don't have to be a great programmer to program. Alright, because there's all kinds of code out there that you can get and download from the internet, and you can adjust it to do things that you want, but you do have to understand how everything works, because if you don't, you won't be able to code. Alright, so keep messing with the print and print line, and we'll continue on in the next one. We'll get into some variables. All right, so once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.